Hey, good morning, sports fans. Welcome to another week of JFlash Sports Talk. I haven't been on the videos too much lately, but I've been on my website, keeping it updated for you guys. I hope you've been enjoying it. Um, so, what y'all think of these games? Also, I just want to let you guys know I just updated my site. There's a live chat. You guys could talk to me anytime, questions, uh, conversations, whatever. I'm here. Let's talk sports. Um, First off, we got the World Series. The series is tied 1-1. Tampa Bay Devil Rays, LA Dodgers. I'm going to have to say, I think it's going to be a tough series, but I'm going to have to go with the Dodgers. They're just too in depth in their lineup and their pitching. I think they definitely got the upper hand with the pitching. So I'm going to take Dodgers in 6. But forget about that. Baseball, man. Who? Baseball? What? Baseball season's over. Congrats, Dodgers. Y'all gonna win. On to football. First game up. Honestly, not too exciting. The Eagles and the Giants. I mean, two of the worst teams in the league this year. I definitely think the Eagles got the upper hand. They do have a 69.6% chance of winning the game tonight. I do think it's going to be close. Actually, this game might be back and forth. Whoever takes it, like, it's going to be up for grabs. That's how bad both teams have been playing. The Giants are getting 4.5 points in this one. I do like the Giants with the spread. I think the final score is going to be 20-16. Top fantasy performers in this one. I mean, I like Darius Slayton to get like 75 receiving yards. I think Danny Dimes is going to have at least one touchdown. Carson Wentz should have at least one touchdown or a rushing touchdown. Probably passing, though. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Eagles on this one. Breaks my heart. My Giants, not this year. Eagles, not this year. But you guys are going to beat us. You're at home. 2016 Eagles. On to Sunday. First up, we got the Lions and the Falcons. First, let's talk about the fantasy performers. I'm going to have to go. I like the wide receivers in this one. Calvin Ridley has been unstoppable. I think he should continue that success against the weak Lions defense in the secondary. The Falcons defense isn't all that great either. That's why I think this is going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I also like Kenny Golladay on the Lions in this one. He's back from his injury, and he looked decent last week. I'm going to still have to go with the Falcons to start their winning streak up by a final score of 31-21. This game's going to be all offense. I'm not sure what the over-under is, but my suggestion is if it's over 52 points, take the over. I think it should be easily the over. Next up, we got the Browns and the Bengals. Baker Mayfield, he was a little shaken up last week. The Browns did get their butt kicked against the Steelers, 38-7. Rightfully so. Steelers are tough team this year. My fantasy performers in this one, I like also the receivers in Odell Beckham and AJ Green. He didn't have a good game at all last week. Well, neither did any of the Cleveland Browns. But he should bounce back, especially with Jarvis Landry questionable in this one. He may not suit up. Baker Mayfield is a little still feeling the pain from Pittsburgh last week, but he should bounce back and have a pretty good game. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with the upset in this one. The Browns do have a 55% chance of winning this one. I'm going to have to go Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, 30-23. Final. Bengals, second win of the season. And I think he's going to have a pretty good game. If you have Joe Burrow in your fantasy lineups, play him. Joe Mixon is questionable, so be leery of that. If you have him in your fantasy teams, he may not play. Giovanni Bernard would be a good pickup for this week if he doesn't play, if Mixon doesn't play. So keep an eye on that. Next up, we got a great game here. I think this may be the game of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers undefeated and the Tennessee Titans undefeated. My fantasy stars in this one, I'd have to go with the rookie Claypool, wide receiver on the Steelers, along with running back James Conner. James Conner's definitely back and healthy. He's a powerhouse. Much like on the other side of the ball, DH, Derrick Henry, 47 fantasy points last week, baby. Yeah, bringing me to another victory. I'm in second place in my fantasy. Let's go. No place to go but up. We're going up. And I'm going to ride him to the end. Hopefully, this whole COVID business, Tennessee keeps their facilities open. They did close it down earlier in the week on Monday, but they've been doing that every week, and they've still been playing, whether the game's on Tuesday or Monday, rescheduled. I don't think it's going to be rescheduled because I haven't heard anything thus far, but you never know. Actually, I think that is an advantage to Tennessee because they've had, 2 or 3 reschedules this season, and they've won them all, just like they won every game they played. I definitely think Tennessee's going to come out on top because they are the home team. They will have some fans in there. It's going to be close, though. I'm going to go with Tennessee 27-24. Let's go Titans. Yeah! Derrick Henry. I do think Ryan Tannehill should have another big game also. He had 3 touchdown passes last week. He should do the same. Maybe 2 passing touchdowns, leaving at least 1 rushing touchdown for Derrick Henry. He did have a 96-yard rushing touchdown last week, but he's going up against a lot tougher defense, but he's pretty tough himself, so don't count DH out. DH for MVP, y'all. Yeah. I'm on that bandwagon all the way. A.J. Brown, he was his coming out party last week. He could be in store for another big game. Big target for Ryan Tannehill, especially with their tight end, Jonnu Smith. Questionable. Might not play. It's a good chance he won't play. He's going to be on my bench. I know that. I got George Kittle, too, so that's another reason he's on my bench. But yeah, let's go Tennessee Titans, 27-24. Next up, we got the Panthers and the Saints, division matchup. Got to go with the Saints, even though every time I pick the Saints, they end up losing and blowing my bet. But let's go Saints, 34-31. I won't be picking them either, by the way, but I do think they're going to win. They have a 69.9% chance to win. Carolina is getting 7.5 points. I like that. Take that. That's my suggestion. One of my suggestions, take Carolina with the points if it's a touchdown or more. Fantasy stars in this one. Ooh, so many. You got Alvin Kamara. He's going to run. He's going to catch. He's going to do what he does. Mike Davis, he is questionable. No reason pointing to why he wouldn't play. He's going to also have a nice, decent game. He'll at least have 1 rushing touchdown in this one. Maybe even a couple catches. Even though it's not going to be easy, especially with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson with that deep game with Teddy Bridgewater. That they've been hot so far, for as hot as the Carolina Panthers can be. Michael Thomas, he should suit up. I'm not holding my breath in that one. Thank God he's not in my fantasy lineup because he's been a bust so far this season. He should bounce back in this one and have 100 yards, and I'm saying at least 8 catches and at least 1 touchdown. 34-31 Saints. pick the over too. Also my suggestion. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills going up against the New York Jets. I laugh because this game is a joke. Buffalo's going to blow them out. The Jets are the worst team in the league. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills 37-3, especially since they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs last week and they're looking to bounce back after receiving their first loss by the defending Super Bowl champs. Fantasy stars, look for Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs to have really big games. And actually, I'm thinking the Buffalo defense is a must start this week. Jets turn the ball over a lot, fumbles, interceptions. Definitely play your Buffalo defense if you have them. I have them. I'm playing them for sure. Next up, we got another laugh. The Dallas Cowboys going up against the Washington football team. This may be the only matchup this year where the Washington football team have the advantage. They have a 58.2% chance of winning. I see no reason why they don't win. As bad as Dallas looked last week, they should improve a little bit, Dallas, but not enough in this one to beat a division foe. The Washington football team, 27-13. They may be even back in first place, Washington. Who knows? Probably after this game. Tied with the Eagles. Fantasy stars, I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for Washington. Dallas has so many stars. Zeke Elliott, he blew it. He fumbled the ball twice last week, which was part of Dallas's problem, aside from having no defense whatsoever. I definitely think Dwayne Haskins should have a decent game, but the only star I'm going with in the fantasy that's a must start would be Terry McLaurin. Amari Cooper, he needs somebody throwing him the ball. Andy Dalton, he's a good quarterback, but not if he's not getting the pass blocking. And same goes with the rushing attack. Zeke Elliott's good, not without no offensive line, he's not. Washington football team, easily 27-13. Next up, we got the Packers and the Texans. Packers, 57.9% chance of winning. I think they do that, 36-33. The over is like 52, 55 points. I like that. That's my suggestion. Go with the over. Fantasy stars, Aaron Rodgers, must start. Texans defense is not that good, more so in the secondary. Their run defense is okay. That's why I wouldn't play the Texans running backs, despite David Johnson coming out of his shadow and having a decent game last week. I definitely think Aaron Jones is going to have a decent game, maybe more so in the pass catching category. He might break like a long screen pass or something. Devontae Adams, he should bounce back. He had a terrible game against Tampa Bay. Most of the Packers did have a terrible game. That's why I see the Packers bouncing back in this one. Like I said, 36-33. All Green Bay, despite being the away team. Deshaun Watson will have a great game. I think this is going to be a shootout, but it's going to be close, but no cigar for the Texans. They're going to lose in this one. So, and you know what? Fuller had a great game, the wide receiver on the Texans, but it's like he's like every other game. He has a boom game or a bust game. Last week was his boom. This week is his bust. Look for other receivers on the Texans. Next up, Seahawks. Fresh off a bye week. No reason why they wouldn't win. Tough matchup against the division foe, the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks have a 58% chance to win. I like them to win. I like the over in this one as well, as I think the final is going to be 41-38. Somewhere, maybe not that exact number, but something close to that. It's going to be close, back and forth scoring. Uh, so many fantasy stars in this one. I definitely like Russell Wilson. I'm playing him. He's back from his bye. He's a must start. Kyler Murray, another must start because he likes to run the ball. The running backs on each team, Chris Carson, and what's his name, Drake. Drake had a game of the week last week for a season high in carries, yards, and touchdowns with 2 rushing touchdowns. I definitely look for him to maybe have 70 yards and a touchdown or 70 yards and a receiving touchdown. But I think most of the touchdowns on Arizona are going to go to Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. And maybe Christian Kirk in there getting his hands dirty last week. Has a very good shot to get his hands dirty this week. He might have another 70-yard touchdown again. Who knows? I definitely look for Tyler Lockett to have the deeper ends in the Seahawks receiving corps because he had a terrible game before their bye week, and usually it's like, he's another one where it's like boom one week, bust the next, boom bust, boom bust. So this week is his boom. I'm playing him. I think he's gonna have a great week. He might even have a deep one from the Russell Wilson. Hopefully he does, because I really would like to win again and continue my winning streak in my fantasy. Sorry, Dad. I'm playing against my dad. Hopefully I can win. It's gonna be tough. He has a tough team, but we'll see. See what I can do. Don't count out DK Metcalf. Also, he's also a boomer bust. Mainly because is he gonna catch that deep ball? He's a big deep target for Russell Wilson. Like every game this season, he catches like a 40 or 50-yard touchdown. I hope he doesn't do that this week because I'm playing against him, but we'll see. That's football. It's so unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm going Seahawks. They're gonna win. Pick the over if you can. My suggestion. Next up, we got the Chiefs and the Broncos division matchup. Chiefs are gonna be upset because they almost lost last week. Buffalo played them tight, but they pulled off the win. They do have a 75.9% chance of winning this week against the Broncos. And Fantasy Stars, I'm going all Kansas City Chiefs on deck. All hands on deck for the Chiefs. I definitely think Patrick Mahomes, if you have him, must start. As far as running backs go, the rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire did have a good game excuse me, last week. I think that was just to hold on to his job for Le'Veon Bell signing. I think Le'Veon Bell should play. I don't know how much action he's going to see after last week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's big coming out party that all fantasy owners that have him were expecting him to do all along. I definitely think, Andy Reid's offense, he'll definitely include Le'Veon Bell like a Shady McCoy in the Andy Reid offense over the years. They'll probably give it to him on short yards, maybe goal line carries, stuff like that. Le'Veon Bell could catch the ball too. Look for him to have some catches. Anyway, I do see the Chiefs blowing the Broncos out. Broncos don't have anybody, maybe other than Phillip Lindsay. 35-13, Chiefs. I'm not sure what the over-under is in this game, but I think it might be like 45 points. So 35-13, if that happens, that would be the over. So that's your discretion. I would stay away from the over-under. That's my suggestion. But you're your own boss. Next up, we got the Niners and the Pats. This may be the lowest scoring game out of all the games this week. A lot of high scoring games, but this game will not be one of them. The Niners, they're going to play the Patriots tough, but Patriots have a 50.3% chance to win. I like them to win 20-13. The fantasy stars in this one, I like George Kittle. I think he's going to have a lot of catches. And Cam Newton, if in order for the Patriots to win, he's going to have to do what he does and have his typical rushing touchdown or 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing. It's not going to be easy passing the ball in this one, but Cam Newton's a runner, so let him run. He's going to do what he does. So yeah, 20-13 Patriots. Next up, we got the Jags and the Chargers. Fresh Chargers bye week. They got a 71.7% chance of beating the Jags. I like them to win 28-14. The fantasy starters, I'm going to go with Austin Eckler's coming back after fresh off their bye week. Justin Herbert, he's been on fire. I really like this kid a lot. I almost like him as much as Joe Burrow in the rookie quarterback class. He definitely has a lot of weapons. The only fantasy star I say that's a must start for the Jaguars would be DJ Chark. He's going to be playing this week. He played last week. He did okay last week, but I look for him to have a pretty decent game this week. Chargers defense is tough, but they do have some injuries. They're tougher on the run defense. Actually, both defenses are tough against the run. I definitely give the running attack favorite to the Chargers and Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson. I definitely think they're going to take it to him. Maybe Justin Kelly on the 1-yard line, a little dump off for a touchdown. But yeah, Chargers win. Also, I'm not sure what the over-under is in that game. I would stay away from that. I'm not a fan of that game with the points, other than Chargers will win. Next up, Sunday night, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Las Vegas to meet the Raiders. Tom Brady in the bright lights of Vegas. I don't think they're going to have any veteran luck this week. Sorry, Tom. I think the Raiders are going to win 34-27, despite the Bucs having a 56.2% chance to win. I definitely like the Raiders. Every time they played at home, actually every time they played, period, it's been the Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs show. Look for that to continue. The Bucs defense they stepped it up against the Packers, but I think that was just feeling the home crowd and the hype for going up against Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they're going to have that same intensity this week, and that's why I'm picking the Raiders in this one. I really like the Tampa Bay receivers. It's just a question of who's going to outshine the other. Chris Godwin is definitely due for a big game. Actually, so is Mike Evans. But I think this one might go to Chris Godwin in the Tampa Bay loss. And next up, we got the Monday night game. Bears at the LA Rams. 5-1 Bears, 4-2 Rams. The Rams had a tough loss last week. They only lost by 8 points. They have a 70% chance to win in this one. And I'm going to go with the under in this one. The over-under right now is 45 points. I'm going to go 27-17 Rams. The fantasy stars in this one, how could you not go against Allen Robinson on the Bears? But he is going up against Patrick Ramsey, the corner on the Rams. So that's going to be a tough one. That's why I'm picking the Rams to win, because they're at home. They're going to be feeling the hype. If anybody, I'd say even David Montgomery would have a bigger fantasy day than A. Robinson. Despite having a tough defensive line on the Rams, I do think Montgomery, with Tyreek Cohen out, he's going to be catching balls like he's been doing, and he may even have 1 or 2 receiving touchdowns this week. I do like Darrell Henderson to at least have maybe 1 or 2 short yardage touchdowns. Maybe even, I'd say maybe 65, 70 yards rushing. It's tough with that committee by backfield approach that the many teams have, and especially the Rams with those three running backs. Cam Akers should be coming back playing in this one. They're going to work him in. You got Marlon, I think his name's Marlon Brown. I know his last name is Brown. I'm not sure 100%. It might be Mike Brown, actually, I think. He hasn't been too much of a fantasy star, Mike Brown, but that could be a decoy, and he might have a breakout game. He might be the one to get those 2 rushing touchdowns this week. Anyhow, I think Jared Goff is going to go to... Last week, he went to Robert Woods more in the loss against the Niners. This week, I think he's going to find his boy Cooper Kupp. He could even have 1 or 2 touchdowns, maybe even a long one. It's not going to be easy against that Chicago defense, but you never know. They could be feeling the hype and the home field advantage and do what they do. I definitely think Rams 27-17. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of JFlash Sports Talk. Excuse me. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Enjoy another week of football, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out, guys.